So I want to talk today about Michael Beckwith's 4 stages of consciousness. And it's his model for conscious evolution of each one of us, conscious evolution of our soul. And it's important to talk about this today because in our journey, we can't progress if we're sleepwalking through it, right? We can't progress if we're stuck in habits and ideas that say we're less than, right? Per that song. And we can't progress if we're stuck in old thought patterns and ideas that there is nothing but lack and limitation. So traversing these 4 stages of conscious evolution represent a paradigm shift for our being, and these stages help us look, they're another lens where we can see the world through new eyes. The first stage, and Ben, there's a slide, and this is a very simple slide, but we're going to keep track of these 4 as they go along. This first stage is called the to me stage, and I like to call it the victim/separateness stage. And it's where we can easily go to and hang out habitually and forget we're there. You know, like there's a saying, there's this little goldfish that's swimming in clear waters, and the waters get muddier and muddier so gradually that one day it's swimming in very muddy waters and it doesn't even know, it's not even aware that it's in muddy waters because it just happens so slowly. It just becomes part of the environment. So the environment that we live in is one that often speaks of lack and limitation if you listen to societal consciousness. And we need to think in a way that puts us in touch with our own divinity. And this also, there's a perpetuation of victimhood, victim thinking, because of this separation. We tend to say, or maybe we think deep inside, oh, look what the world handed me today. Look what the politicians handed me today. And this kind of assumes that the source that's going to rescue us is somewhere out there. It's somewhere outside of us. And it kind of removes our agency. It removes our power in the situation. And this state is ruled by a state of separation from our very own divine identity that we have to remember to remember. This state of victim separation is a place of fear. It's a place of where we hold regrets. It's a place where we hold on to shame that doesn't serve us any longer. It's a place of unforgiveness. And in this space, we're often looking for who to blame or what to blame. Our parents did it to us. Our siblings did it to us. Look what they're doing. My situation is to blame. And it's easy to blame. It's very easy to blame the corporations. It's very easy to blame the politicians. It's very easy to blame the billionaires. And I heard that there's soon going to even be the first trillionaire is going to probably happen. It's probably going to be Elon Musk, the first trillionaire. Does anybody need $1 trillion? Really? They said about billionaires when that happened 100 years ago. Nobody needs $1 billion, maybe except for the ego. So, but this blaming, it's easy to blame them, but this blaming and only, blaming, a little blaming is okay, but only blaming doesn't serve ourselves. It doesn't elevate anyone. It doesn't help anyone. So our job is to transcend this habit of being stuck in this blame, victim, separateness stage and be aware that we're in it through mindfulness. Now, meditation is one way to be mindful, but try this on for a definition of mindfulness. Thinking of, what was that thought that I just thought of? Examining your thoughts with something that, there's a psychologist named Gabor Mate. Anybody ever heard of him? He said, examining your thoughts with compassionate inquiry. Compassionate inquiry, meaning, why did I just have that thought? I'm curious. I don't like it when I think that thought. That thought habit is not the true me, not the highest wise sage me anymore. So it's that compassionate inquiry, and it's that noticing of the habits that we have and wanting to change them so we can be the best possible people we can be. So that's how we move out of this victim separate consciousness. And I was thinking that this to me, everything is happening to me consciousness is seeing every problem as a curse instead of a gift. So what if we looked at every problem and obstacle as a gift? And I think that when we do that, we finally see the lessons in them. And if we don't see problems as a gift, the problem will probably keep on recurring and coming back to us in different forms until we finally see it as a gift, right? So that's the beauty of being aware in this stage, being aware that we're swimming through those muddy waters. The next stage is the by me stage, and I like to call it the manifester stage. And this is the land of the law of attraction. In Unity, we call it the law of mind action, but what it basically means is that we're creators. Change your thinking, change your life. You've heard that before, right? Change your thinking, change your life. So the guiding question here might be, a useful question here might be, what would I like to create with my thinking? What would I like to create differently with my thinking each day? And what kind of thinking would I like to let go of each day? There is some fun in this stage too. This is the world where we get to manifest parking spots. We get to manifest, spiritual community. We get to manifest beautiful experiences. But yeah, the parking spot thing, that comes in handy. But this is moving closer and closer to source as we go through each one of these steps. And the downside is if we just only think about manifesting for ourselves. I was once a part of a group that there were people that were literally chanting for BMWs and Mercedes and cash. And I said, this was down in Los Angeles, of course. And I said, I've got to get out of this group. They were just so happy to chant, I'm chanting for my next BMW, and everybody clapped. My second BMW. This was before Teslas existed. But overall, this by me stage is a good place to be. It's the manifestor consciousness. But there are ways that we can move beyond this by moving to the next level, and that is the through me stage that I call the channel consciousness stage, or Michael Beckwith calls it the channel consciousness stage. And we enter this realm through surrender. Through surrender. We take some of our will out of it, and we say this as a guiding question. Think this as a guiding question. How can I serve? How can I serve? And in this stage, just like that flute and that Shruti box, they're channels. That piano, that's an instrument. So how can I, as an instrument, serve? And Michael Beckwith says that previous stage, that second one, says, I'm going to make things happen. But this last one says, I'm going to make the highest good welcome to happen. And I don't know exactly what that looks like. I may not know what that looks like right now. So you see the difference? You're not prescribing a solution. You're being open and willing for the highest and best to emerge. And this is channel consciousness. And with the manifestor consciousness, you're saying, I want that. With the channel consciousness, you're saying, I'm open to infinite possibilities. I'm open to infinite possibilities. And this is how I found Unity 5.5 years ago. I wasn't thinking that a minister position would be possible for me. And it literally, someone reached out. They kept on trying to call me, and they found me. They found me, and they said, you should do this. And I didn't even know it was possible. Yes, we'll put you through ministerial school at the same time. It's possible. That was always a dream of mine. But I held the vision, but I didn't know what the plan was. And the universe came and found me, and I must have been a channel. So this stage is also a good place to be, but not the last stage that you want to be in. Because even in this stage, think about it, we're functioning separate from God because we're still a channel for God to work through us. And so this is where New Thought religions like ours, well, we're technically not a religion, we're a movement. Did you know that? We're technically not a religion, we're a movement. And I'll explain more about that in January. But stay tuned. Yes, so be here. But keep coming back until then. So it's a good place to be, but to move to this state of unity, we have to go beyond the to me stage, beyond the by me stage, beyond the through me stage, and come into this final stage, which is as me. It's on the last two lines. It's the as me stage. And I call it the unity, divine, radiant stage because we are at unity. This is one of the reasons we got this name. We are at unity with all that is. We are at unity with our divine selves. If God is all there is no separation. And so what we can do here, instead of functioning through the law of attraction, we function through the law of radiance, where once we fully embrace our divinity, we are radiating out the God presence within us. We are radiating it out, the law of radiance. And we say this every week. There is only one presence and one power active in the universe and as my life. God in everything and everyone, the infinite source of love, abundance, harmony, joy, wholeness, intelligence, expressing as me, not through me, not by me, but as me. So Myrtle Fillmore said that God within is not separate. And Alfred Lord Tennyson described God as closer than breathing and nearer than hands and feet. I love that. Closer than breathing and nearer than hands and feet. It's the God within us. It's the God as us. So the guiding question in this last stage is, think about this. What is seeking to emerge as me? What is seeking to emerge as me or as my life? Another guiding question, which we did a few months ago, was what is the highest vision for my life at this time? And you can ask that every single day. What is the highest vision for my life at this time? So those are beautiful open questions that recognize our divinity. And there's nothing wrong with the previous stages except being stuck in the victim mode. And I think we can dance in the by me stage. We can dance in that manifestor stage. We can dance in the through me channel stage. We can dance in the as me stage. But as long as we keep striving to stay out of the first victim separation stage and be aware that we're swimming and dancing in that stage when we are. So that's really the core of my message. While I was writing this talk, late last night, I was copying and pasting something into a document, and I accidentally opened this document from a long time ago, and there on that page was staring at me a quote from a member of the congregation in Unity San Jose. She said it one day during the end of a service, and I wrote it down because I thought it was so wise and so apropos for today, it turns out. She said, "Let's be persistent in expressing the best and greatest version of who we are." Let's be persistent in expressing the best and greatest version of who we are. I think that's one of the definitions of spirituality. We're not here to just party all the time. Partying is good, yeah. Fun is good. That's all good, but we're here to work on ourselves so we can transcend all those things that keep us in shackles. We can transcend all those things that keep us in depression and sadness. Old thoughts that no longer serve us, old tape recordings that don't serve us. And so this is one of the ways that we get there, by being persistent, that we are going to vibrate here, not here. So I'll end with this. There's a book, I forgot to bring it with me. Good thing I wrote it down here. There's a book by two Unity ministers, Linda Martella Whitsitt, who was the vice president of Silent Unity for many years, and Reverend Deanne Morency, who is now, I believe, in Marin. She was in San Francisco. But they wrote this book called Discover Your Divinity. And I will share a quote from this book. They said, in his classic New Thought text on prayer, Unity minister Eric Butterworth said, when people heard Jesus saying, I am the light of the world, they thought he was referring to himself. They thought that he was announcing that he was God or God's special agent. But he was simply affirming the truth, and he made it clear to each of us that we must also affirm this truth for ourselves. We must claim our divinity. And so that affirmation is simply, I am. I am. And this is unity consciousness. This is unity consciousness. And I love the name of our faith tradition, of our movement, because it just says it in a word, unity. Unity with all that is, unity with the divine, unity with each other. So, let's let that divine work through us, and let's seal this message with a prayer. And, hey, Jen, I didn't ask you to do this. Maybe pick up that Shruti box again, and I'll pray to that. So let's go within and know that there is an infinite source within us that we can tap into 24/7. It's always there, nearer than hands and feet. It's the God of our understanding. And I'm so grateful for this realization as I work through the stages of awareness, insisting on being persistent with my spiritual development to be the best possible person I can be in this lifetime. To let things happen by me, to let things happen as a channel. How can I serve? So connecting with the one source of all that is, I know that I'm tapped in. I know that I'm tuned in to grace, to harmony, to healing, to wholeness, to greater possibilities that I can't even imagine. But they're coming to me, and I'm counting the blessings. I'm counting the blessings. And I know that unlimited blessings are headed my way right now. Right now. So I'm so grateful for this knowledge. I'm so grateful for this realization, this community. So grateful for this spiritual practice. It's blessed, and so it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. In my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure up. Just the sum of every high and every low. Remind me just who I am because I need to know. Oh, you say I am loved, but I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong, but I think I am weak. You say I am held, but I am falling short. When I don't belong, yes, you say I am yours, and I believe, oh, I believe what you say of me. I believe. The only thing that matters now is everything you think of me. In you I find my worth, in you I find my identity. You say I am loved, I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong, when I think I am weak. You say I am held, when I am falling short. When I don't believe, you say I am yours. I believe, oh, I believe what you say of me. Oh, I believe. Talking all I have, and now I'm laying it all at your feet. You have every failure, God, you have every victory. Oh, you say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I am weak. You say I am held when I am falling short. And when I don't belong, you say I am yours. And I believe, oh, I believe when you say of me. I believe, oh, I believe when you ask believe what you say of me. I believe.
And so let's just take a deep breath. With each breath, just experiencing the sacred. So this note is a C that they say is the harmonic resonance of your body and of the planet. And this C note is just grounding you and toning your chakras. And as Michael adds on top of it, he's going to just build upon this C. And I invite you to think about the primordial sound, the sound that existed before all other things. The sound that contained 2-year-old toddler sounds. The sound, the joyous sound of birds and animals, the sound that existed before the world was even here. And this sound is representative of the one source, the one presence, and the one power. So let's just commune with that primordial sound that is not empty at all. It's the love vibration of all things. And let's just be in the silence for a moment. And as we take a deep breath, we sustain ourselves here in gratitude We can feel our bodies just slowly start to energize and come back into this present space. Just drinking in the light of this room, the consciousness of this room, and the shared intents and intentions in this room. For this, I'm so very grateful, and so it is.